The topics we discuss are many.
No story too bold to talk about.
Strictly our own opinions.
But they are opinions from people like you.
Welcome to the NAKE'd podcast.
My news sources from memes, including that the I'm gonna butcher this, the Suez Canal.
Suez Canal?
Yeah, it got blocked again. Hey guys, I'm Keelan.
At
It's
this point, it's just permanent.
It's like 2 or 3 times isn't that much, but like in the grand scheme of things, you're like, that's a lot for like. It depends on context, right?
Mm.
It's your own Jake.
I was gonna say, guess which podcast just entered its terrible twos?
Circle of Jerks.
Totally, it's me.
Now that shipments were starting to go back to normal, I was hoping that the canal wouldn't be closed again. Your DM tech guy without a new video card, Alan. What's up,
Salty.
guys? Happy Monday. Happy fucking Monday.
Tell me you're salty without telling me you're salty.
Looks like I won't get a new fucking Series X Xbox and a video card in the same year. I'm just hoping I at least get my Steam Deck.
Yeah, it's coming up in December.
Yeah. I actually just checked. I know it's not a topic or we had anything planned for it, but I did check my status on it. I reserved it. Oh my god, when did I reserve it? Like August 10th.
July.
I reserved it August 10th. And
God
it says
damn.
expected in Q2 of 2022. So it's no longer after. I'm excited.
That is exciting.
Like between April through June? Yeah, April through June, I might have a Steam Deck. I'll be able to give some food for thought about it.
Yeah.
Are
I've
you
seen it
gonna
firsthand.
buy one or are you gonna 3D print it?
I'm gonna buy one. I'll probably
You can 3D print a case.
Mm,
Ooh, you know what? I have something for you to 3D print. Sorry, staying off topic. Here we go.
okay.
I saw these things that go around like your cable cord, and it has your name on it, so you can label your cable with your name.
That's cool. I'll print a couple. I did find a model to secure Ethernet cables to the wall.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it came in options of 2, 3, and 4. So I'm thinking
Nice.
about printing a couple of those. But
Y'all can see my wire situation right now.
it's bad.
Sorry.
It only gets better though.
See, that's what some people are saying about the latest Windows update.
It only gets better.
It only gets better.
You're talking about Windows 11, right?
Not Windows 11. I'm still waiting to test it. So for Windows 11, there is a way for you to download and test the operating system, and I'm waiting till I'm waiting till the last snapshot release of it before they officially announce that they're stopping releasing of the tests and actually releasing Windows 11. But that's not what I'm talking about. Over the weekend, Microsoft released an update quietly to all its users, allowing them to delete their passwords from their Windows account. Now,
Why?
I like immediately why. So there's a lot of good things to it. Microsoft over the past couple of years, since the mass adoption of Windows 10, they've been working towards trying to adopt different ways for you to log into your computer. So with Windows 7 and Windows 8, you could only use a password unless if you had a specific model that had a fingerprint scanner, and those kind of started becoming a lot more adopted in 2008, but not as much as with Windows 8 and instead of Windows 7. Windows 10 kind of combined a lot of the previous technologies and programs that they had available for both of them. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. You can use your password, you can use your face recognition, you can use your voice. If you have a fingerprint scanner on your laptop, or if you bought like a little thing for it, you can scan your fingerprint. If you have 5 minutes.
It's his topic. Okay, so I actually asked Peach a little bit about this last night, and I was just like, why is this, and like, isn't your password the most secure? Because with a password, if you have a certain amount of characters mixed with numbers and special characters, it takes longer to hack. Whereas like a PIN, right, like your 4-digit PIN or 6-digit PIN to get into your computer, it doesn't seem as secure to me. And Peach said that giving options is a good thing.
I thought it's the real life voice band, not like has to be quiet.
I vote.
Oh, like he has to use a
Doofenshmirtz.
different voice?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Haha, well, there are other options for you to be able to log into your account. Haha. So, Microsoft introduced Windows Hello. Haha. And what you can do with Windows Hello is you can actually use your face, your everything that I was describing earlier. Haha. And well, the good thing about it is, with the latest update, you're able to push a authenticator notice to Microsoft Authenticator app on your phone. Haha. You didn't give me a choice in the voice, so I decided to fuck with it. Haha.
Okay, so here. Okay, so like if you're trying to log into your Microsoft, would you have to use like your Authy or whatever code generator that you have on your phone to generate a code to get into your system?
So that's the second step for you to log into your account. If you can't access the Microsoft Authenticator account, Microsoft has their own application where you can push notifications in order to log into your account, either on the website, either to your email, either to your Outlook account, or now you can include your computer. Haha.
Is that a tool that we'll use later?
It is. It's a surprise mask tool. Haha. This is what we call content.
For those listening on Spotify, and you I hope you guys check out our YouTube because this is hilarious.
Let me take a nope. I can't even do a good Goofy right now.
Your Mickey's on point.
No, thank you. So one of the things that how I found out about the update was through Forbes technology section, and well, Forbes does a really good job of interviewing people within the actual professional space. So the specific author, he reached out to several different people in the cybersecurity section, as well as a cybersecurity analyst for ESET, which is a antivirus suite. Haha, they're their own company, kind of like Avast or I can't think of the other one that steals your money. Other than
45 more seconds, Peach.
45 more seconds? We're gonna make it happen. So
Scatter.
That's how Goofy got his son.
Murder. So the author of the Forbes article actually spoke to an ESET cybersecurity analyst, and his recommendations were very glowing of the latest update. Artemis needs to go out, haha. But everyone in the cybersecurity space agrees with the latest update, especially with the removal of passwords. And it's looking to be a really promising update. because you won't have to use your password anymore. You can just click a button. Your Windows system, if it's connected to your Microsoft account, will push an authentication notice to your Microsoft Authenticator app. If you're not able to get to that, you'll have to set up a second two-step verification to log in, and most people only have one device, so it'll have to be another application on that same device. That's where the caveat kind of lies. It relies heavily on your phone.
I'm mad about it.
Why?
I don't know. Just there's an ease and convenience to it. Does it raise potential risks for my account?
No, not at all.
I mean, how often does your phone leave your hand?
Not very.
Most people.
So that
Most people have their
that's a
phone
cute
locked.
photo.
Thank you. Most people have their phone locked, and you either need your face or your fingerprint to unlock it. So there's already that level of security. And if you don't want to have to force yourself to use a different way of logging in, you don't have to delete your password. You can leave it on your Microsoft account if you've been not logged in. If you logged into your Microsoft account in your Windows system, or you can just create a local account and say, fuck it, I don't want you to know what my Microsoft account is, and you'll be set.
Gotta hydrate.
Don, you missed it. You missed 5 minutes of Peach talking like Mickey.
Aha!
In 30
I'll be right
seconds of NJ really digging Peach.
It's just, he makes me laugh all the time.
Good. I did clip it and I dropped it in the clips channel of the Discord.
I love it. I'm not too mad at it either.
Sorry, guys. Need to let Artemis out. Thank you for clipping that, Ethan. No, but you still have the option to use your password. But so far, I mean, most people reuse passwords more than 3 times. And with reusing passwords, which is a bad thing to do, Keelan, don't do that.
Or for everything.
Don't say that.
So, if you are security conscious and you make an encrypted password, put it as your Microsoft, save that in your LastPass or your password managers, then take your Microsoft and only run it through your Authenticator app, you're pretty secure.
Yeah. Cybersecurity analysts are happy about this update. I mean, of course, nothing is 100% secure. So with it just being an authenticator push, it's 99-point-something% secure. But there's still a way to break the authenticator process.
What do you ever think that they're gonna move past passwords and go to more like a crypto or a DeFi
Eventually.
protocol that will handle something like this?
Honestly, eventually, there's going to be the day where biometrics will be the go-to to log in, or like crypto biometrics or something. But what's up, Dom? How you doing, dude? What do you guys think? Are you guys going to ditch the password convenience and go with the Microsoft Authenticator, or do you not allow for your Windows operating system to know your Microsoft account?
Well, like for me, if it's Microsoft, they already have the info, right? So like I kind of use Microsoft more of in a professional standard, but like Google, I don't tell them shit,
Yeah. Well, the good thing about the latest update is corporations and, I guess companies that use the Windows environment have already had this update available to them since March. So the fact that it's coming to us now is no surprise. Usually Microsoft deals out new technologies to their business customers before anyone else. But there haven't been any complaints on the business side. And I mean, for a cybersecurity analyst from Sept to say, yeah, this is a good product, this is a good idea, I'm for it, it really stands out.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I don't use the password anyway. I always use the Authenticator app on my Windows 10.
Yeah,
Seems more secure to me anyway.
agreed.
The only thing I don't like about it is that it forces you to use like a Microsoft Authenticator, from what it sounds like. Like, because I have Authy set up, right? So I'm like, I'm on one program. I want to stay on like one program. You know,
Yeah.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
The Microsoft does offer that, right? Like, so you don't have to download Google Authenticator or the other ones. You can set everything up in Microsoft. Like, I have my Googles, I have my Microsofts, GoDaddies, multiple
I'm gonna have
arrangements.
I've been using the Google Authenticator for a while. I'm gonna have to move over to the Microsoft Authenticator because I do want to play with this new feature. I'm excited for it because it'll definitely be a change, and I need to see if it's possible with my work computer. Of course, for corporations, it is an optional update. So,
You know what's not optional? How many
These hands.
was it money butchering this transition? Take it away, crazy.
Yeah. What's not optional is ordering monoclonal antibodies for yourself. There you go.
ooh.
So I don't know. There's a story, and we're here in Texas. In the Houston Chronicle, usually is a little bit left leaning on. I think so. They even came out pretty hardcore against Biden on this one. So right now they signed a new executive order saying that the Department of Health will now be in charge of distribution of Regeneron, which is just one brand of monoclonal antibodies that has been one of the frontline treatments for us here in in Texas.
Oh,
So,
the turntables.
but knowing this, right? And the Houston Chronicle themselves said that the administration is rationing this life-saving treatment to Republican states, and it does kind of present itself that way, that it feels a little bit of a punishment for the governors that stood against the vaccine mandate itself.
Thing I read this morning about it was that they're using the number of COVID cases in those states to determine how much to send to those states. So like these red states like Florida and Texas, like, are they going to receive less now, like after this update, or?
So, well, the big moment that set a lot of people off was that Joe Biden had a press conference, and he did say that he was going to work on increasing the amount available by 50%. And everybody thought that was a great idea. It's been working in Florida. It's been working in Texas. We can, start letting other states use it and have an alternative to just being vaccinated, but actually a therapeutic to, treat mild symptoms, right? And then last minute they found out that like Florida is getting half of what they actually ordered. So they already put in an order and say, this is how much we need at our current usage. And they're only going to get half of that because the administration said their words were, we need to distribute it on an equity basis, not an equality basis.
I have like a problem with that. Only, like, I get this is kind of treating the symptom and not the illness, right? Like, pun fully intended, first of all. But, like these states, they're pushing the vaccine, right? Because they say the vaccine will prevent as many cases. But these states, they have low vaccination rates. These people are, in need of healthcare we shouldn't deny them access to healthcare that they need. Like, that's not the way to go about it, in my opinion. Like, say what you want about vaccines. Like, a couple episodes, Ethan and I sparred, about our thoughts on that. But at the end of the day, these are people, like human beings and Americans that need this treatment. Like, we shouldn't limit that based on their personal choice.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, you're right. And that was some of the seeing this play out, because we've talked about a universal health care system before, right? Like in theory, it sounds like a great thing, but we've had an attempt at a universal healthcare system somewhat for the last 18 months, and it has not turned out very well, I think, because it just ended in the government rationing healthcare to states because it feels like states are disobeying them. And the CDC themselves is now officially changing some of the terminology surrounding the vaccine, because it's like it doesn't meet the legal definition of a vaccine anymore.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So it's not, the best way I heard today was, you call the smallpox vaccine a vaccine because it stopped the smallpox, right? Like, you don't hear about the smallpox nowadays. Well, COVID, the vaccines, so effective, right? Moderna itself was rated #1 at 91% effective. So it's not stopping the virus totally. So it is more of a therapeutic than it is a vaccine. So the CDC is just starting to change some of the terminology surrounding it to they're looking at maybe classifying it more as a therapeutic, which would be a preventative, more of a vaccine, which is not a bad thing, right? Maybe that will help a little people with the whole idea, because I know, like me personally, when you see so many breakthrough cases still with the vaccine going out, it's no, me personally, I don't see the risks of the side effects of the vaccine and the risk of COVID are about the same for me.
I mean, I know that you guys have like a superior blood because you're like oneg, but what's up, Ryzen? I see you in chat. Like we
Yo,
saw
Razine.
we saw a TikTok over the weekend, and that TikTok was actually, or it was either over the weekend or last week, and that TikTok went on to be published nationally by news organizations, and it's this girl going over the numbers of infected for COVID, and her numbers her calculations based off the current CDC numbers when she recorded it. If you're unvaccinated, it's a 1 in 8 chance that you would get COVID, and it's a 1 in 81 chance of you dying from COVID. I mean, comparing those numbers being vaccinated to 1 in 12,000 of getting COVID and 1 in 13,000 of dying, those are better odds having the vaccine. But of course, that doesn't come into calculate the difference in blood type, different people and how it affects them.
So
This goes to show you that more people are susceptible and would need that other treatment.
So that comes back to Regeneron, right? Some of the numbers coming out of Florida, the studies they're doing in Florida over their treatments versus others, right? Scientific method is you form a hypothesis, test it out, present your results, peer review. We don't always get that from all the data and sheets that are coming out from the administration or the CDC, right? But we are getting some of that out of Florida right now, right? Peer reviewed, and there's one study saying that natural immunity is 27% higher as longevity than the artificial immunity that people get from the vaccine. So, I mean, there's a lot of info we just don't know yet, right? Because it's going to take years to figure this out. I mean, even the CDC themselves, the FDA approved the Pfizer vaccine, right? But even on the CDC's website, the long-term effects are still labeled unknown, right?
Yeah.
So how can they fully approve it when they don't have all the data, which, is a question a lot of people have, but you can't ask these questions, right?
Mm.
Like Ron DeSantis in Florida has been asking a lot of these questions, and things seem to have worked out down there, right? They're on the tail end of Delta right now, and some of the data that we get is it doesn't matter if you're or it does matter if you're vaccinated, right? If you have the vaccine, the likelihood of you actually having severe illness is very minimal. But again, if you can get treatments like Regeneron right away, you're good for 90 days. Those are natural antibodies in your body for at least 90 days. So that can almost do it if you implement it properly, you could almost nullate a wave like that.
Mm.
That's interesting. I'll have to do a little bit more research on that.
Yeah.
So
Same.
one theory is that is Joe Biden starting to ration it because they're seeing that this is going to be the effective treatment for even the vaccinated, right? So if the epsilon variant comes up here and we don't the immunity we have isn't as strong to it. Well, if you roll Regeneron out across the country, man, that wave would almost stop within 90 days or 90 to 60 days.
I'm just glad that technology's advanced enough to where we can actually get a vaccine under a year of a major pandemic hitting the United States or the whole world for that matter.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a techno marvel, but again, there's always a catch to everything, right?
Yeah.
Nothing ever is as good as they present it. And with all the propaganda surrounding it, it just I think lowers people's expectation that it actually is what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Because I think at first it was just like, oh, the vaccine like would prevent COVID, but no, that's not actually the case. The vaccine will just, lessen your symptoms of COVID. So like there was a really misunderstanding when it first came out.
Yeah.
Interesting. So the HHS is reallocating it. What can states do to kind of like combat this rationing or like?
Well, step one that Ron DeSantis said about Florida, what they were going to do is they're going to reach out to the other brand that hasn't been approached by the government yet and see if they can fulfill the need there. But my other question is, if it is something that can help people instead of rationing it, why aren't we financing it, right? Like, why don't we say, okay, cool, we'll help you build another plant to produce twice as much as this, and all we ask is a discount or something. You know what I mean? Like, I would see there's ways around rationing. There's more positive ways to approach the angle. And I think that's why a lot of people are feeling that it's more of a punishment than anything else.
So playing devil's advocate, like what if we what if we're just seeing like a shortage of it right now? Like there can't how the pandemic hit, we had a shortage of toilet paper. Like what if that's the case right now? It's a shortage, so the administration is trying to prevent like an all-out buying war by trying to ration it out for now.
I mean, it's possible, but again, if more money flowing to that company is more money that they have to produce the product, so thus, and again, let the states have a bidding war, kind of, right? Like, let them funnel some money into this company and get them producing it, and then they'll have enough for the country. I mean, again, that's why I say if you fund the research, I would see funding the research being a better option than trying to stifle the research.
Yeah. Quick question. I'm guessing the add hair tie / accessory also counts to me, right? Because I have long hair.
Do it.
Okay.
I don't have one. Sorry.
Shame. That's a shame.
I could do a giant man bun.
That's what I'm doing.
Just stick it under your headphones.
Those are now your accessory.
There. I hope you guys are happy. It's for you, Ryzen.
I'm working on getting longer hair than puzzled. That's my goal.
I saw a picture because I have like a photo widget on my phone, and I saw a picture of Ethan or Crazy and Puzzled like 3 years ago, and like you wouldn't even recognize Crazy. I was like, oh, that's he. That's Crazy.
Yes. Every single time I see a high school photo of Crazy, I'm like, is that him? Holy fuck! Clean cut, short hair. It's part of the Killer 60s.
Hell yeah. So the other day we were talking about that too, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite band from back then? Your favorite 60s rock band?
Shit, 60s. Hold on.
I mean, there's only two real options, right?
Like Beach Boys and Beatles, right?
The Beatles or the Stones.
Stones.
I should say British rock bands, right?
Yeah. I was trying to think of their name, like it's Rolling something. It's not the Rolling Beatles.
So if you had to pick between the Beatles or the Stones, who would you pick?
Stones.
You've already asked us this, and you like scolded us for choosing the Beatles.
Oh, he said the Stones. No, it's just like we've been asking everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And come to find out, more guys will say Stones and more women will say the Beatles.
Pixie, thank you for that follow. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, that
back
makes
to
sense because, like, the Beatles, they were the heartthrob band whenever they came out. They were doing things that no other band had done before, or group, I should say.
I wouldn't say that they weren't doing something that hadn't done before. I think it'd be more along the lines of they're doing something, but on a lighter note for a bigger audience. Because, I mean, there were other bands who were kind of doing the same things that they were. I just can't think of them off the top of my head.
Think of are the interview screenshots of the Beatles in interviews, and they're always like off the cuff. They're super cheeky. One of them was like, I don't know, it's off topic, but yeah, that's all I can think of.
Okay, I'm looking
but
at
to
some...
bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
I say to bring it back. You know, it's just again, does this put confidence in y'all about a socialized healthcare system?
I was never one for socialized healthcare.
I'm for socialized healthcare, but I don't understand exactly what the fuck is they're trying to do here with the whole bidding system, and it's just not right.
I can see that, like a bidding war between states, like states that are less affluent will, it's like it just drives poverty down even more, like in my opinion. Like you have states that are bidding for a life-saving medicine, and a big ass state like Texas obviously has more money than, you know, a smaller state. Like I can't think of one, but like, you know what I'm saying?
But at that moment, that's when you have a federal government to help them out, right? Like that's where I was thinking that, okay, if you get to that moment, that's when the federal government steps in and says, okay, hold on, no, we're going to help out Delaware, and we're going to make sure that they have what they need, right? Because y'all seem to have already got the system rolling, everything's figured out, into the medicine's just pumping out at this moment, so we can help financially with the smaller guys.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, personally, that I look at it is, from every angle I've thought of, it seems like this was just a punishment.
This really just does seem like a punishment. Not good.
Speaking of punishments, I have a question for you guys. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Okay. So Peach and I are parents. So I'm going to ask you this. What would your parent do if you were in school and your teacher laid hands on you? What would your mom have done?
Kick her ass. Seen it.
My dad would have been down there and probably beat someone's ass or sued the school. I don't know, one of the two.
I'd be rolling up with his gun.
So in Georgia, there was headlines galore about this woman beating up a 61-year-old teacher, totally made the mom look like super crazy. Well, she brought out her side of the story. So it's a daycare, it's a Catholic daycare, and they're able to watch video of the classroom from the day before. So the mom picked up her kid early. He had an injury to his leg. Mind you, he's 3 years old and nonverbal. Or 2. I think he's 2 years old. He's nonverbal. Mm-hmm. And she picks him up. She's like, okay, kids are kids. Like maybe, kid pushed him or whatever. She watched this video of the classroom. And for 3 hours, she watched the teacher, according to her, allegedly, slap him with a book, slam him down in his seat, like grabbing his wrist and just like basically abusing him. So she sets up a meeting the next day with the director to talk about the events. And obviously she's very upset. They won't let her view any more footage that happened in class. And she asked for a meeting with the teacher. Fast forward the next day, teacher's in her room waiting for this meeting. The mom walks in and she just starts beating her ass, like no hesitation, like throws this lady out of the chair and like threw her around like a rag doll. And when I first saw this, I was like, damn, that was pretty violent. But then understanding the context, I can't say I blame her. But on the other side, there is another way to go about it, right? Like this lady was 61, like that's not okay to put your hands on somebody.
But she's old enough to know better.
Exactly.
She is old enough to know better. Exactly. So this girl, she spent 1 day in jail. Her mugshot looks hella like smug. Like I'll do
my nickel. I'll do my nickel.
I'll catch my case. I'll catch a case any day of the week. And when honestly, like reading the story, I was like imagining it of, like our kid, like I would lose my mind and I'm a bonus parent, like I can't imagine what Peach would do in that situation or how he would feel.
I'd beat a motherfucker's ass.
So real top question, but it's just something I'm been meaning to ask you. How would you feel if your child called you stepped birthing person?
I don't think he would, but I would laugh.
That's weird.
It is weird. But like kids are weird nowadays. I don't know. Ours does the weirdest shit and we're just like
cool.
Okay.
Like, how do I respond to you? Okay. And just walk off.
Right? Puzzled's like the perfect person to know because she works with kids every day.
Yeah. Well, no, I only ask because it's been going around all week about not calling people mothers because it's not as inclusive, right? Like they want the proper terminology you're supposed to call people is birthing parent. And as women that can have children, what do y'all I don't think about that terminology? I'm just curious.
Terminology, like if it's a broken family system, like the first thing that comes to mind is the fosters.
Yeah,
the fosters,
birth mom.
they either foster or adopt the kids, and when they're in the home and they talk about the biological parents, they say, yes, those are my birth parents or my biological family, but not my birthing person.
It sounds
I
like
can understand where the term birthing person could come from though too.
Well, yeah, they're trying to, because we have had reports of people transitioning and then becoming pregnant before they finish, right? Like we've seen that.
Oh, yeah.
So it makes sense. But again, a lot of women that I've been seeing that have talked about it just feels a little like I've earned the right to be called a mother. Like that's what you call me,
Yeah. Also,
I was gonna say like
I
Go
don't feel
ahead.
like they're taking anything away from us. They're just creating a spot
Giving
for
us
themselves,
options.
and
Yeah.
yeah, do
Absolutely.
it. Make yourself at home at the table. Like, come on, feel this pain.
Have a seat at the table for sure. I was gonna say, like, I feel like I'm a mommy, right? Like the day that our kid stops calling me mommy and just calls me mom, it's gonna be a hard day.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hard day.
It's gonna go from mommy to Mama Norma.
Oh, PJ already
Is that bad? Is that bad?
supplanted it.
I'm sorry.
That
I'm
was
sorry.
very bad.
I'm
Very
sorry.
bad.
I'm so sorry.
Very bad.
Wait.
Someone
Can't
on the
believe you
couch
said that.
I fucked
What-
up.
what
I'm
is-
so
Cannot believe you
sorry.
said that.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna treat you like that teacher. Just kidding. He looks so
Yes, you
scared.
Help.
Yeah.
Alan, blink
In Latin,
twice if
read
you
it.
need help. Y'all saw this.
I
Somebody clip that.
love Pixie's comment because she says my son calls me bro, and honestly ours does too. Like he's playing Fortnite or some shit, and he's just like, bro, look at this. No.
I love it.
I don't know how I'm
I
gonna
thought it was
handle
a-
like the respect. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I guess it's a level of respect of what your child calls you, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So this woman, she has a GoFundMe to pay for her legal fees. She's done a couple of interviews, but to be honest, like I think she just talked way too much. I think she should have just said like no comment and let her lawyer handle it, because I feel like she's digging herself into a deeper hole. But I'll be interested to see what happens from it. The teacher's currently on administrative leave. I think they spent a little bit of time in the hospital, but they'll be okay. And they'll definitely remember not to lay their fucking hands on the child again.
Well, and that's if this mother actually goes to jail and does her time. I think the teacher should be removed from the classroom.
Absolutely.
I don't think they'll
You're-
remove her.
61 is close
She's
enough to
61.
retirement, you know?
Yeah. Same. There's other things in the news though that we are kind of keeping an eye on. So I don't know if you guys heard of Gabby Petito, but Puzzled has us a story to listen to.
So, Sylvie's a dick.
Fucking Sylvie.
Are you okay?
Facts.
Ditto, Pixie, ditto.
She's 61 out.
Mm.
Yes, that's what we were saying. Heck yeah. Same page.
Mhm.
So Gabby and her fiance, Laundry, they decided to go on a road trip. And Gabby is breaking out into blogging and having her own travel websites and all those sorts of things. And so they decide to take a road trip, and throughout the entire road trip, Gabby had been very involved with her family, text messages, photos, FaceTimes, updating her Instagram, working on her website. And September or August 27th is when they came home, or September 1st is when he got home. And she was not with him. He did not tell anybody that she did not come home with him. And it was not till 10 days after the fact that she was finally reported missing. Authorities may have finally located her body, and it has been, I was going to say a wild ride, but that's rude. This has been a heartbreaking journey to follow this story. We actually all just saw today police camera footage of Gabby and fiance Laundry being pulled over by authorities, and watching Gabby, you can tell she is distressed. She is upset. There's a lot of things going on right here. The only reason they were pulled over was actually because where they were the night before, somebody had seen Laundry attacking Gabby, chasing after her. Her hands were up, his hands were up. And so it was kind of like a domestic violence call report. Yeah. So Dom, I'm just gonna say this on that fact. He has done everything he can to make himself look guilty. So if there's something that does make him not guilty, I will be surprised and a little relieved because, but a few people have kind of gone through the police cam footage and they've actually dissected how she talks, how her body movements are, and they basically come to the conclusion that she was being manipulated. She was being abused. He got mad because I was working too much on my website. Oh, it's my fault because I was making us late. And like all of these phrases that are typical abuse victim phrases and body language. And so somehow a YouTuber, Red, White, and Blommer, was that right?
I'm not sure.
I
I can find out.
believe so. Yeah, I don't remember their name, but it was Red, White, something after that, like that.
Yeah.
Was that the YouTuber that they uploaded footage in Wyoming and they saw their van?
Yep.
Okay.
So they stopped to look at the van, not really stopped, but they recognized the van because it had the Florida license plates, but they didn't know at that time what was going on. So later, yes, they got into an argument. And so later when this travel couple are going across their old footage, I was trying to say video and footage at the same time. They see the van and they're like, oh yeah, oh hey, that fits the description of this national case that's going on. Holy shit. Sing mode. Norma, take it away.
Yeah, so Landry gets home. Her mother reports Gabby missing on September 11th, and Landry doesn't want to talk at all. Like, he is just not, he doesn't want to talk to anybody. He immediately lawyers up. He refuses to give a statement. And then he issued a statement through his lawyer, and it was very, lawyery, like, we regret it, blah, 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 like, for the family, but, we're just remaining in the background at this time. Then her family releases a statement, and then there was some footage of, like, people on Landry's, hold on, Pixie, when you go back and see her body language, you see often she nods when she talks to the cop. You can tell she's a sensitive people pleaser type, and that conversation did not resonate with her to stay away from him that night. Exactly, Pixie. Exactly. Like, she had all the signs there. Like, they're gonna put him in a hotel because she was the aggressor, right? And you can see by the way he was talking with the cops, he was just like, oh yeah, like, she just kind of like scratched me, like, she just kind of came at me, and they're kind of like, kind of joking around, like he's kind of making light of the situation. The cop's like, yeah, you have a mark right here. And I think they do what they can to, they do what they can to, like, try to de-escalate in the situation and be like, okay, you're going to go to a hotel, you're going to stay in your van, and, stay separated for the night. But beyond that, it's like your own personal accountability. But how can you be personally accountable if you've been conditioned and basically mentally abused for so long? Anyway, off my
Stockholm syndrome is real.
Right? So September...
Peach, blink twice if you need help.
I'm good.
Okay.
I was going to say that previously, before this trip, she had been living in his mom's house.
Yeah. And because they were working on the van to get ready for this trip. So they were going on this cross-country 4-month trip, and they were making their van like a movable, like you see it all over TikTok. Like they redesign these vans to be van like travel. Yeah, van lives. So September 17th, his family reported Landry to be missing. So he went out on a hike of some trails that he frequently does, and he was supposed to be back by one day. He's not back. Family goes to the park. They find his car. There's a sticker on it that says, "Move your car, going to be towed." They leave it that night in hopes that he would drive. He would drive back. The next day, he doesn't come back. They go and get his car, and he is nowhere to be found. And then yesterday, we got the update, or last night to this morning, that Gabby's body has been found in Wyoming. When there's connections placing both of them there right around the time her communication stops. So where did Landry go? Did he unalive himself or did he flee?
Well, the one thing me and Puzzled were watching earlier is that he might be in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, evidently there was a picture came out of him in Puerto Rico on something, and then his or they believe he was messaging from her phone saying that she was in Puerto Rico with him. Was that what they were? No, I get that wrong.
Okay. One thing I
Code
know
on that video, so I just came into Puerto Rico.
One of the biggest conspiracies behind the case is that she's been dead for longer and that he's been messaging on her behalf because the grammar changes, right?
So for a bit after she had kind of stopped posting on Instagram, the Instagram account got deleted. And then within like 1 to 2 days, it comes back online. It was like, oops, that was an accident. And the posts started coming again, but they were much different from Gabby's normal posting.
Yeah, it's 100% confirmed.
I would say the video we watched, I guess the confirmation on the body about being Gabby, but they're doing the autopsy tomorrow. Don't know why they didn't want to get it done today, but we're gonna hear some new news tomorrow.
They probably just needed things to calm down a bit.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing is that you have all these different theories. So, like this Puerto Rico theory or conspiracy. We were kind of talking about it before the podcast, but the true crime community can be a little toxic. Like, I love true crime just from like an awareness basis. Like, why do people do? I like to know why people do the things that they do. Like, I work from the why in every aspect of my life. And like the psychology is interesting to me. But you don't see me wearing a t-shirt with Jeffrey Dahmer on my, like that to me is really tacky. And people that glorify these details and they say things like, this is a thrilling case. No, it's not. These are human lives. Like, these are people. She suffered. She was abused. Like, it's not for your entertainment. Have some
We're not here to be fangirls to the serial killers.
Exactly. And we talked about that a little bit earlier, right? Like, we've been a little desensitized to these events because of watching and learning about like all the documentaries. It does desensitize you a little bit, right? So I can see how seeing one play out before your eyes, one of these true crime documentaries just play out in front of you, for a lot of people could be a thrill, right?
Yeah, I mean, think about the start of like the 24-hour news network. Around that time, the Scott Peterson case came out, where the Scott and Lacey Peterson, where in, I think California, she was pregnant, she went missing, they found her body in like a marina, and the news, it was like a sensation around this terrible case, and it can impede the investigation by a lot, by people thinking that they're their own detectives and driving by these people's houses. Like, it's tacky and it's gross.
It's like
have fun at work, Ryzen.
Have fun at work, Ryzen. It's like taking your kid to go see their favorite YouTuber at their house. Like, you just don't fucking do that.
But that one has a blue check mark on above the door.
I mean, it makes sense for the internet to come together in certain cases, like the "Don't Fuck with Cats" videos. The internet came together. They found the people based off the very short amount of footage that they were able to get their hands on.
Or like the internet kind of teaming up against all the Karens, right?
And it's good that these people with the blogs and the video footage that are able to go back and say, oh, look, I have something that could help. But they're not detectives. They can't be on the case. And detectives have to be careful about what information they release, because as soon as people who go viral, news stations, anybody gets their hands on this information, they're going to put it out there. We have the exclusive first look. We have, the only thing that you're going to hear today. And that could tip off the killer or suspects.
Yeah, or you on the flip side, you have people who, will claim that they did the crime, right? Because they have intimate details of the case. Like police, like investigators, they usually hold some details behind so they can confirm that the confession's legit. It's just very sad. And I have to say, I'm sorry, I misspoke. They did not confirm that that was Gabby's body, but they do believe that it is her.
And that's the thing, Dom, is we don't know 100% that he did. That's what I was saying earlier. Everything he's done has been made to look like he has done it. So if he didn't, I'll be surprised and a little bit relieved. If he did,
I would guess it would be the autopsy that would give us more information about, cause of death.
Yeah.
I mean, how we don't know it's not COVID, right? Too soon.
Too soon. Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on this case too. Like, I have a bunch of Google alerts for a lot of different stuff. So, I hope that Gabby's family, gets the peace and justice that they deserve, and they find out what happened to her, as well as Landry. Like, I hope that he's okay, and if he did do this crime, I hope that he gets what's coming to him. But it's such a weird case. It's very weird. There's a lot of details that we don't know.
Hey, I didn't say that, Dom.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And in one of the videos, the narrator talked about it being shocking that Laundry. I've heard it both ways.
Probably Landry.
I've been saying Landry. It might be Laundry.
I would say it was Landry over laundry, just saying.
Yeah.
That we were really surprised there wasn't a tail on him. If he's a person of interest, why isn't there at least some sort of, somebody keeping tabs? How is he able to just disappear?
Yeah.
Especially in a high profile case.
Yeah.
I mean, some people still say Epstein didn't kill himself, right? Like, I think a lot of things can happen in police custody, and we're just not paying attention anymore.
True.
Yeah.
I know that's a bummer topic to end on.
What are we doing this week?
Hot take.
Daisy?
Hang on a second. Pixie, we have a chat from Pixie. Hot take, her personality type is often rooted from her upbringing. The anxiety, shyness, pensiveness, overly agreeable. It is to help prevent conflict. Facts. It's a trauma response. So it doesn't surprise me that she was potentially involved with a difficult person. Her dad seemed a little overprepared and ready for those interviews and social media posts. I don't think he is involved in her death, but I don't hear 100% genuine when I see her dad's interviews, to be honest. Again, a hot take. I have no facts, just bad vibes.
Oh.
Sometimes you gotta trust your vibes.
You're absolutely right, Pixie. Like, we were talking about it, Peach and I, about how we could listen to the sound of our parents' footsteps and know if they're angry or not. And that's like a trauma response. Really, it is. And I'm a people pleaser too, and it's just because you want to avoid, the confrontation for the most part.
Yeah,
I hope that's not the case. That's awful.
Well, that wraps up another great episode. And don't forget to join our amazing and supportive community on Discord.
In our Discord, you can find game nights, watch parties, food pics, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. What's not to love about that? We have a little something for everyone. Head over to our website, officialmillennials.com, and you'll find more info, especially our featured gamer of the week.
Speaking of something for everyone, we have a book club. We read a book almost every month and talk through it together. We also have a special perk for our subs to discuss other books in a series called Chapter 2.
Don't forget to swing by YouTube and drop us a follow at Official Millennials. You can also find us on Twitter at MillsOfficial. We appreciate all the support, and y'all have a good one.
This is an Official Millennials production.